Okay, now I've got to share it on the platforms. Okay. Oh, we wait. Oh, hello, a person. I need to look at the chat things. Yes, it's on. I am sharing the live stream now. Oh, that would be difficult. Let me just. Reconnecting. Okay. Now, I must wait for people. If people don't come, I'll perform anyway, the songs. It's possible the timing got confused because it's very complicated with the things. Oh, people. Hi. Hi. I might be talking too quietly. I need to be louder. Okay, now we have some more people. I'm going to be performing the songs on I Don't Know How to Feel. Hi. My album, I Don't Know How to Feel. I'm going to do the dances and sing the songs, and it's been a while since the album released, but finally I've been able to do a live stream to celebrate them, perform them. Hi. If anyone's listened to the album, do we have any favourite songs from it? I feel like one of them's gonna... Yeah, it has been a while since I've done a live. The last one was for Circulation, the anniversary of the debut. So I've mostly been doing it for music release kind of things, which makes sense. Special occasions makes people appreciate them more. I don't know when more people come in whether to say hi again or to keep talking. Yeah, French Kiss, yes. That one's been out. The dance video hasn't come out yet. I'm excited for that. You're all going to see the dance as I perform it today. And the song is quite a tough one to do. That's why it's good. Okay, I'll prepare for performing it. I need to take my shoes off because my shoes aren't good for dancing. The songs I decided to make choreographies to were the ones that I felt like were the two that I've had the music videos for were the ones I came up with, sorry, as the main songs of the album, as the titles. I felt like Satisfaction was the title, and then French Kiss was the kind of second main one. Then Purple Ocean was like the pre-release to the album. But then I still have, which is going to come out, Do You Want It? That song's Dance. And I think that one's going to be really good. It's actually my merch, the outfit. But also, anyone who's been to a dance class knows this look. It was 100 degrees today, so I'm already sweating just from sitting. It's going to get very hot for me. Yeah, the lyrics are under each audio video thing, or the track video on YouTube in the description. So it's all there, and if you turn on subtitles, it'll have it in different languages, everything, because there's a few with a mix of languages. So I wanted to be able to do all the translations via subtitles. Hola. Yeah. Got to stretch. I'm about to do a lot of workouts. I mean, if I'm over here out of frame, it'll be to set up the music from doing the dance. I also released all the instrumentals on a separate album of the album, purely just so that I could play them from Spotify and perform them. Some people might want to hear the instrumentals. The French Kiss instrumental has quite a few views on it compared to the other ones, so some people might like listening to them, but it is mostly just for me to sing along to them. Get my voice ready. I'm sorry for those noises. Need to make sure I'm in frame. That's good. Well, it's not 100 degrees at this very moment for Fahrenheit. It's 36 Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. It's pretty hot. Okay, I'm going to do a volume check with the music. I set up for them to put in rests in the thing so that I wouldn't have to fiddle with it, but I forgot that I had to play it from my laptop, so all that work was for nothing. That sounds good. Hi. I'm glad you're here. Okay. One song's going to lead into the next, so. No, I don't. Okay. Hopefully this will give it a little longer. Yeah. Romantic, baby standing out of me. Your charm is extremely unique. In my head, thinking a bit too much about your physique. J'ai compris, on va essayer. On deux, trois, mon chéri, on prend moi. We can spend it all together. Money, time, space, it's nothing better. We think we know each other all as much as we need to. Living on the same trip, minutes to wait, this gon' be that tomorrow. I'm tomorrow, all more, anyone more, probably better. I'm dreaming out, I just wanna see you coming back and what other. Keep it tight on script. It's like Uncle said. That's how it's reflect. Je voudrais qu'on va un, deux, trois, mon chéri, un bon nuit. We can spend it all together. Money, time, space, it's nothing better. We think we know each other well, as much as we need to. Je voudrais qu'on va un, deux, trois, mon chéri, un bon nuit. That's nice. Je voudrais qu'on va un, deux, trois, mon chéri, un bon nuit. C'est pour moi. I can't do the ending fairies because of the fact the next song immediately plays and I don't know how to stop that. I should probably sing that normally at some point so I can do the rap. Depends on the length and what I want to do with it. With those ones, I normally do 30-second segments sometimes, or I'll think up the intro for one time, and that'll take not very long, but then the next week or so I'll come up with the next part. I feel like this is coming undone. If I were to do it all in one go, for something like the short I did Like Jenny remix. I just kind of put some ideas together and got it done in like half an hour. But yeah, it normally is half an hour segments to create 30 seconds. Yeah. I hope the audio is okay. I realized the background music and me singing are different lengths away and everything, but I'm hoping it balances out in the room with my hair and ends up okay. Yeah, I learned dances quite fast. It takes a lot of practice, but when I did videos every day, it was a very necessary skill. And now it still really comes in handy. Okay, should I sing the next song? Okay, I'm just going to do it. Just wait for confirmation. You spend each day showing me love, calm and romantic. There's a knock inside me, all my being eccentric. Doesn't set your mind astray. In the moments, I feel like I could die any second. You make me weak and strong. My spirit beckons to be destroyed and born. I live every second for you. Do I not excite you? I bend at you everywhere. We are for each other truly. Affection not overpass the hurt. Consciousness fades in and out of who I am and what you do to me. Moods, feelings turn about. You I see my smile that conclude the past. I will sit here all day, insecure in such a beautiful way. Warm and soft have to blur my senses. Taste me. I feel like I'm getting sweatier just sitting down and singing. Okay, that was each step towards feeling, and that's the opening one on the album. It actually came out with Purple Ocean a while ago, and I thought it was very much like the opener kind of thing. It warms into everything, the themes and the aspects of it. It goes kind of up and down and up and down. I hope if the volume isn't okay, just tell me and then I could sort it out. Or because I'm very nervous about it being wrong. But I should talk about French Kiss, shouldn't I? Okay, good. Yeah, French Kiss. The music video is, well, the whole song is basically the same thing. I felt like it was the kind of night to the Satisfaction's daytime. It was like the moon and Satisfaction was the sun, and they complement each other quite well. French Kiss is mostly just about like a date situation, but it's kind of like the opposite feeling of Satisfaction's lyrics in a way. It's simple and not as layered in meaning as Satisfaction is, and it has the aesthetic of French things with the language and the posh aspects of the kind of French fashion style. I felt like I would try to incorporate it into the music video as much as possible. But it's quite hard without. I felt like my hair matched it perfectly. I wish I knew how to say it in Portuguese. Inglaterra. Hopefully it's the same as in Spanish. I'm from England, for those who didn't know. If anyone can hear that, that's my cat. Does it say, how do I understand what you're asking? I speak enough Spanish to understand a bit of Portuguese. Yeah. Okay, the next song. Right, I should have a drink first. I need to stay hydrated, is because I'm sweating. It's important. Alright. It's not, they don't have English Dr. Pepper here. And I was very distraught about that. It turns out I went to America a couple months ago and realized that the Dr. Pepper is completely different. It's not the kind that I love. The kind that I love is only the British one. I thought it was the same in other places. They have Dr. Pepper here, just not the kind that is mine. I say that very somberly. But for the person who said the English isn't as good, or I'm kind of a little bit approximating what was said. If you can understand me, then your English is pretty good. A lot of people would be very impressed. Because I mumble a little bit. Yes. Yes. Over the summer, I'm going back to England and I'll be reunited with Dr. Pepper, the kind that I like. Okay, the next song that's on the album that I want to sing is, I think, my favorite of the album. Thank you for the comment. It's Warm Feeling. It's called Warm Feeling. And it's of me playing the ukulele. And so it's totally acoustic with my voice. And it has a kind of sad, a little bit sad kind of lilt to it. But that's kind of what I liked about it. It has that feeling of like when you're so happy and in a situation that you that means a lot to you, that you almost feel like crying. That's what it sounds like to me. And we'll see if people agree. I can't play on the ukulele right now because all my stuff is packed. So I'll have to settle for the instrumental. Starts right away, so I want to be wary of the volume. This padded glow surrounds me, radiating throughout me. It touches all around, mind and body surrounded. That one feeling every time, it's like you're looking at me. That one feeling each time you call me beautiful. It only means anything coming from you. A blanket in my bed as I walk. I don't wanna have to talk, just have this feeling. That one feeling every time, it's like you're looking at me. That one feeling each time you call me beautiful. It only means anything coming from you. Mountains against my shoulder, I feel your breath. We fall into each other. That one feeling every time, it's like you're looking at me. That one feeling each time you call me beautiful. It only means anything coming from you. I could fall asleep for 1,000 years against you. Safe I shall be forever, wrapped up, snuggled, cuddled and clinging to that warm feeling. I know it seems weird to applaud for myself, but it seems weird to just go straight into talking. Often what I do first is, and hi, people. Hi. For the question, did I arrange the song and then create the instrumentals or the other way around? Normally what I do is write all the lyrics first. I'm quite a lyrical kind of, I think about the lyrics first. And then with this song particularly, because I normally know in my head exactly how I want it to sound when I'm writing the lyrics. I'll think about the melody, and I got the ukulele. I knew I wanted it to be a ukulele song. Very like with the theme of what I thought it would sound like. And so I stayed going through like each chord to see if it sounded like what it did in my head. And I ended up going through them all and then being like, no, it doesn't sound right. But there must be one that does, because I feel like I couldn't have made it up. And then it just turned out that I was playing one of them wrong. And then I figured out what I found the chord that I had lost. Hi, people. But then did I do the vocals first? No, I did the ukulele part and then do the final vocals. But normally I do need to voice record the melody before any of that stuff. The melody that stuck in my head the most in writing things was "Are You Still Mine?" It's just the "Are you still mine?" Just that opening part. It really stuck in my head until I made it fully. I'm giving myself a slight breather. I should probably, while I'm doing that, talk about the next song. The next one is called Character. It's probably the saddest, other than Are You Still Mine, I think. But I really like it. It's got some kind of weird aspect to it in that the regular playing of it stops for a keyboard, like forgetting the word. I know exactly what it is, but I can't remember the word. But it kind of abruptly stops. But the vocals mix in the order a bit, and I feel like it gives it something. And it's one of the only ones where I did kind of layers of harmonies in certain parts, and I thought I would try doing that for this particular one because it's kind of an emptier one without it. Thank you. Red is normally my kind of colour. What was I talking about? Character. Character also mixes in Greek. And I felt like that it kind of has the aspect of a Greek tragedy in a way. And it has that aspect of what we think about with Greece or Greek would be like philosophers of ancient times. At least that's what I think about. And I felt like character and thinking about identity was very much in line with that, and it fit with the sound so much better. Of like, I had an English version to begin with, and it didn't sound as soft, or the Greek was more melodic for what I had with it, what it became. Okay, I should. Just kind of reminding myself the beginning of character. Wait, let me pause this for a second because I want to read this question. Yeah, there's a few reasons, but it's mostly for conceptual aspects. Sometimes it's about how they sound. Because I wrote I'm Gonna Break Your Heart specifically for it to be in Korean because of the way the endings would be the same. I knew that if I started out with like, I'm gonna break your heart, I'm gonna, yeah. And when I translated it, it will have that kind of flow off sound. But with other ones, it's more for what one thinks about with that language and the country it comes from. Sometimes it has a lot of layers. Okay, let me get to character. I like making you laugh. I could have been funny, but I'm not really funny. Od tempestei pragmati oti anon amorfe talentuha. Of Aristotle anthropos pros pathon name pioson. Keep me in your head where you need me. Hold me while I'll be safe and sound. Somewhere around, I'll hit the ground. I wouldn't need to put so much effort into trying to be. Autopoemi física den inete botas simpatu. Keep me in your head where you need me. Hold me, I'll be safe and sound. Somewhere around, I'll hit the ground. Free me, grab my soul inside and release me. Coloring my volume throughout, all character in mind now. Tenime anthropos, los praeomi oteine anthropos. Inaeton poanisa ekiatopos naineaton. Catch me and leave the rest far away. Where all of it is there far away. It is kind of the sadder one. I should probably space out some of the sad ones so that we could do some of the dancier ones. Thank you. I love that song. I actually have that as my, at the moment, my alarm for going to sleep because I find it really relaxing. That song, even though it's so sad. Yeah. I hadn't ordered, like I said, I prepared a playlist. Earlier in the lab, I said I prepared a playlist for having like rests in between, and I ordered the songs differently, but it's all on my phone, and I forgot that I have to use my laptop. And so I've completely forgotten the order and everything else. I did like reorder things so that because the next one, if I go in album order, is another sad one, because I feel like it goes with the mood of when you're listening to it, but I think with performing it kind of, we want a bit of upbeat earlier on. So I think we'll do Satisfaction as the next one. I should talk about it first, because then I'll be out of breath after doing Satisfaction for sure. Yeah, I really want to perform the entire album for this. If I were a bigger artist, I would have like a full big concert and tour it and everything, and have like dances, stages for each one, but I have to be picky with these and what I have for them. So, and Satisfaction will bring the energy up, as literally says bright in it. I still think if this were a concert, I would have opened with French Kiss like I did, because that one brings in the beat immediately. Okay, and as well I can, because it's a walk-in too, I don't have to worry about as much about the prep. I don't know what that means. Let me do my dance. Let me see how loud this is. Kind of want it loud. Mabel, winter's coming. Choices are so hard and indecisive. Maybe I just feel curious, don't care. I don't need it. Let me focus. My heart and my soul, my mind can be empty. But you choose. I can't focus. Oh my God, I can see that. Can't go on the shit that I know. And when I'm late, it's got in my sugar. Can I cook it? She am like missing. But the sugar is you instead of chocolate. Go. Oh, no, I wish I knew something. りました。記憶が私と誰の分のあのまま見つかりますか。軽く幸せます。私が必要とする社会で明るい。You might want to listen to my songs or watch my videos before putting the comments on. You might have a frame of reference. Yeah. I feel like Satisfaction would be one that probably could benefit from making a backing track too, but I kind of get confused with. I tried to make them before for the last live stream for Dragons and I'm Gonna Break Your Heart, and it went pretty okay, but I find it so weird to have the backing track on. I kind of like keeping it more flowed and as well. Sometimes I don't know how much energy I'm gonna have. Sometimes I'll have more breath than I realize and can sing more of it. Okay, I'm gonna pour out more because I'm sweating again. Okay, Satisfaction. I should probably talk about more of the meaning of it because it's the more in deep. What was I saying? The more deep, kind of double meaning one. Yeah, I am quite a good dancer. Thank you. And yes, so Satisfaction. Like I said, it was the sun to the other one being the moon. It was very seemingly energetic and bright and very like upbeat kind of a dance, but it's more so about that kind of facade of that like a lot of times when people are putting on a good face, it's not out of actually being happy. It says it mostly in the Japanese lyrics because I felt like those kind of, it really fit with the aspect of it being a happy upbeat song with sad lyrics. It really fit with the Japanese as well, because some of the more complex sort of ideas are shorter in Japanese, and the ko is supposed to be like the word koko, which just means here, or like, and then soko, which is the next verse, is, well, it just goes so ko. So technically it just says this and here. So very kind of simple. I had, I think the last one I wrote was Coffee. That was the last one. And I finished, obviously I wrote Purple Ocean and Each Step Towards Feelings in time, each step towards feeling in time for that release. So I had the ideas and everything together for them, but I hadn't finalized the songs until I was preparing for the full album to come out. But I had the ideas and stuff written from since actually like Dragons came out. I was thinking about what the next release would be, what kind of concept, what kind of thing I thought would be good. I hadn't even decided on whether it was going to be an album or anything yet, but I ended up writing songs anyway. And I chose things that really went with that. And I tried with, the reason I wrote Coffee actually was because I didn't feel like there was an angry song in the album, and I wanted it to really feel like the words I don't know how to feel. Like it was every kind of complex emotion in an album, and it was all, it went through the spectrum of emotions. And I didn't have an angry song. Yeah, I should really do a rock song. The thing is, I think the reason I haven't so far is because I don't have as much of a rock vocal. It's very hard for me to like shout and get really into it, but I have a cover coming out which is of a more rock kind of song, and I think that kind of led me into how I could maybe make a rock song. As well, I'm a big fan of bands like Queen, although they have kind of a mix of, they're very rock for sure, but they have, you know, like Crazy Little Thing Called Love and Under Pressure, which have a bit more of a soft edge. So I need to kind of play around with that. I mean, just shouting. Like, it was hard for me doing Apatu by Rosé because of the hold on, where she has to shout. And that's even quite like a cute kind of shout. It's still a little like hard to get into that. I'm used to sad, less energetic. But I'm trying to work up to it. I should do more rock covers and get me into it. I could write one and then try and see how well I can get my voice to it. When I wrote French Kiss, the rap in that, it was difficult to do that rap. It still kind of is. I think I did it today okay. It's very fast moving and took a couple takes. Sing? Okay. Let me get it up with the next one. Yes, I should stop talking so much, but there's so much the songs to explain. Okay, this one I forget the lyrics to the most. Not the lyrics, but the order of the lyrics, so if I mess it up this time, just cross our fingers I won't. Are you still mine? When I wake up tomorrow, will you return just to tell me goodbye? Would you do it like before? Break my heart once more, baby, please no more. Each day passes, are you still mine? Even though you're gone. Each day, are you still mine? It has happened, it can happen with love, but how easily can you let that go? Are you still mine when the night is done? Are you still mine when you've had enough? When you go away, do I stay with me? Are you still mine? When I wake up tomorrow, will you return just to tell me goodbye? Would you do it like before? Break my heart once more, baby, please no more. One day I know I'll be alone. You'll leave me. One day I need to save each minute while I have you. One day, but today I need you again. I wanna die before it happens and have you forever, my forever, and you'll still be happy. Spending your day with her. If you spend the time and fall in love, you'll finally be with someone who likes the same things as you. I'm jealous, but I love you more. I don't have the strength to stop what I feel is inevitable. Are you still mine? When I wake up tomorrow, will you return just to tell me goodbye? Would you do it like before? Break my heart once more, baby, please no more. Please no more. It goes right into the next one. Okay, so that one I used online is mostly with that instrumental. That one is mostly just a string, but I had to play it on a keyboard, and it has some kind of an organ chords throughout, and I think that one is the most like. Well, it has some backing vocal as well. It has some layers, but it's still got more of the acoustic sound similar to Character. But it was mostly like a lot of with the string sound, but it goes dun 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 dun, and it was a lot of me playing with my fingers on a keyboard. But it was quite a bit of that kind of repeated sound. I think it took the most work to do that one's instrumental. But yeah, like I said, the melody of that one always stuck in my head the most. But the lyrics are very hard to remember. Because it starts like jazz kind of on the offbeat of each one. You know, kind of just like a flowing river of thoughts. It's supposed to be quite an anxious kind of song of if people are on my Patreon, the inspiration photo I used was someone like waiting on a hilltop looking at a sailing boat go over the horizon, and it's very much that kind of like anxious watching someone walk away kind of song. Very much of like the thoughts are reeling and everything's going. Thank you. I'm glad you like my accent. And thank you. Yeah, I really like that song. Although again it's sad. I feel like my chair's moving away. Maybe I'm just out of frame. Okay, we're an hour in. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to do one more singing one and then we'll do the next dance. So the next song one is a lot more like sweet. It has kind of a piercing effect because it has kind of like a high flute in it. Is it flute? I do most of this on the computers to play it like with my hands on the keyboards because I don't have the live instruments. I hope one day that I can afford to get like the full kind of band thing and record it properly, but for now I just have a keyboard. So Future, that's the one I'm talking about. Future it's a very sweet song. It's about looking into the future and kind of hoping for something. Although it has a kind of flip aspect of being jealous of your own future, being jealous of yourself and what you get in the future and having to wait and being a little bitter about that. But it's a sweet one because it's saying, I'm jealous of my future self. Okay. If I get through these all in time, we'll have time to do some like requests and stuff. But I just wanted to get through the album. And well, we still have some more songs, so I shouldn't discount them yet. Okay, let's go. Future. We are one in this present. I feel you in my heart, around my finger. I strike at the world with you, I'm gone with you. Our collision tapestries, what am I without you? Chicken and winged, stop burning myself away, but here, transcending in that for certain presence. The one that gets to touch you, feel the light of your left, feel your hair through. The one that gets you to snuggle into, where you feel your grey. I'm jealous of that future me. There's a place in time where we need to be, where you belong with me. I'm jealous of that person you lay next to, the woman you get to look upon too. I am but a face, but a life, but a mind and body, seeking the woman of which to lace the fabric of every meaning, the antibody of all that breaks. I hear you over this ocean, some floating through a sea, through the sky and darkness. I'm used to tune my rhythmic anxious jealousy. The one that gets to touch you, feel the light of your left, feel your hair through. The one that gets you to snuggle into, there you'll feel your grey. I'm jealous of the future me. And there is space and time where we jealous of that person you lay next to, the woman you get to look upon to. Stars align, you will be mine. Diamonds are fine, you will be mine. In due time. There is space and time where we need to be, where you belong with me. I'm jealous of that person you lay next to, the woman you get to look upon to. I'm jealous of that future me. Okay, that's future. It has quite a few layers again, that one, but my favourite aspect of it is over the first chorus is like ah, 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 ah. But I can't do both. And it kind of makes sense to sing the chorus lyrics. Keep feeling like this is tight. Thank you. Okay, should get back to some dancing. Although I might need a breath. Okay, I'm going to stop at a certain point in Do You Want It, because it goes into kind of a mesh at the end, and so we'll end it with the choreography ends. I really like this choreography. Just checking that. Is this right? No. Yeah. This one's going to need the future background will have to play until the song starts. Apologies. Baby, Mabel, winter's coming. Move fast, move slow, babe. Control the tempo. Keep my focus. I'm laying out this. Here and I'd hit this. Take it slowly. Come close. Let me hear it. Do you want it? Do you want it? Do you want it? Do you want it? Do you want it now? Do you want it? Do you want it? Do you want it? Do you want it? Do you want it now? Do you want it like that, baby? Give it to me, give it right back, baby. Throw forward, throw back, look it up, tasty. Can't leave me waiting like you've been lately. I'm gonna take a second right now, please ask. Do you want it? Do you want it? Do you want it? Do you want it? Do you want it now? Do you want it? Do you want it? Do you want it? Do you want it? Do you want it now? Do you want it? Do you want it? Do you want it? Do you want it? Do you want it now? Keep the track steady for me. Take me slowly. Come close. Let me hear it. Do you want it? Do you want me, baby? You got me going. Go crazy. Want it, come here to me. I want it. Do you want it? Do you want it now? That's why I had to stop that one, because there's no more choreography. I'm looking forward to that dance coming out, because it's the one that seems the most like a dance kind of song. Thank you. Okay. Oops. That was loud. I hope the audio is okay with that particular one. I thought it felt a little quiet, but I can't tell with me being farther away. Okay. Yeah, that one is it's all with drum machines, that one. So it's all, oh wait, no, there's some synths at the end. I was thinking it's all drum machines with that part, but then at the end there are some more stuff. I think maybe we'll do the other songs on the album, and then if we have time, we'll do Purple Ocean at the end, since I've done that one quite a bit in the past. We'll leave it to the end-ish. If we have more time, we'll do the requests and whatnot. Okay, so the next one, we have Coffee. Coffee is supposed to be the angry song. It kind of turned out not like as angry as it probably should have done. It's kind of rappy. It's got I got a lot of that in it. I need to get better at rolling my R's. I know, I'm not very angry. That's why it's so hard to write an angry song. I'll try and give it some sass and singing it. It kind of helps that I have to introduce myself in some of the songs. May the winter's coming. It gives it a bit more of an oomph. Let's do it. Wait, let me check the volume this time. Yeah. Boiling hot winter's coming. Smack that out your mouth. Oh, it's hot, I can make it scalding, make you regret ever having met me, cause I can take it 0 to 100, make it nasty, fantastic. Oh, slap me, you about to hurt your hand, I've seen it all coming from the end. Jesus, see you out, you could've kept your business this year cool liquids, but instead you drank my coffee. You drank my coffee, coffee. Drink that fucking coffee. Hot. The caffeine got you twitching already, you mad and all upset. Well, I'll wait for you to stop getting at me. That's bit too much sugar, serving nice and neatly for me. How about I do what I want, cause it's my goddamn coffee. Burn your mouth. Does this see you out? You could have kept your business. Did you cool liquids, but instead you drank my coffee. Coffee. You drink my coffee. Coffee. Drink that coffee. Because I like it. Come here. Because I like it. As long as heart feels the burn, I'll just sit back down. This coffee is for me. Coffee, hot tat tats. You drank my coffee, coffee. Drink that coffee. Hot tat tats. Hot. I like that one. It's kind of sassy. It's supposed to be angrier, but it's very hard for me to perform that. Maybe if I add a dance to it, it'll be easier to look angry. But it's kind of like, yeah. I'll channel that when I go towards doing some rock songs, and I'll get more of the angry vibe. Okay, the last one other than Purple Ocean is Moonlight Haze, which if I didn't have Warm Feeling, it would absolutely be my favorite song on the album. It has such a like cool breeze kind of feel to it, and it just sounds like a dream to me. Okay, we'll go straight into it. Feel streaming the stars, breathe, gleam in my eyes, your eyes, beautiful eyes in the sky. Am I feeling the air, or instead of alive? Stepping in and out. 4, 3, 2, 1, off and on and off, off, off. Dancing in the moonlight, lunar mind, lose my mind. Light and dark touching fingertips, shifting face, hold my gaze under the moonlight haze. Take my hand, take my life, I give it to you. Silhouette in the darkness, shadow in the glow of the big bright moon. Am I feeling the breeze? Dreaming is reality, swaying and out. 3, 2, 1. You're so beautiful. Dance with me in the muddy grass field under the full moon. Dimension is only a shield. You're by my side, holding my hand. Running mind, lose my mind. Light and dark touching fingertips. Shift and fades, moonlight gaze, under the moonlight haze. Dancing in the moonlight, lunar mind, lose my mind. Moonlight haze, shift and fades, moonlight gaze, under Okay. Now all we have is Purple Ocean left. I still really like singing Purple Ocean. It's the last and final song. Seems accurate since it's the first that came out. Even though it wasn't released, that would be a part of the album. But still, like, well, it's part of the album, so it seems like a good end of the songs to sing. Okay. Also, I have one more song on the album, which is Purple Ocean Dance Version, which is not too much different from Purple Ocean, but it just has a bit more of a little layer added to it, and I thought it would go really well for background music things for if I do any more talking kind of videos, or for if I need like a opener or a dance break for something which is just instrumental. I thought Purple Ocean Dance Version. So I'll sing Purple Ocean original version. I also find it really satisfying to say Purple Ocean Dance Version. When I think of being without you, I shiver, I quiver and wither. My life ignited with you. I was sad before, not in a way that I knew I was or what could be. I wanna write you a song. You are the melody to my mind, so I wanna sing to you, knowing you're mine. Pour to my heart into your ears. Nothing else feels like enough. Spilling into waves, trickling to tears. I wanna write you a song. You are the melody to my mind, so I wanna sing to you, knowing you're mine. So I am this time that I need you. Don't know where I am. This mist of joy keeps me afloat in the rocking boat, in the rocking boat. My life ignites every time I sense you, feel you, hear you, depend on you. Blue fading to purple. Purple, 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 purple. I wanna write you a song. You are the melody to my mind, so I wanna sing to you, knowing you are my melody, melody, melody. I wanna write you a song. Streams bathe through my veins. Lakes of love. I beg you to flood my mind. Okay, that's the album. Yay! All sung and performed. There's more to be coming out with the songs and everything. French Kiss has its dance, and so does Do You Want It, and the official ones will be going through and everything. I think I did I talk about Moonlight Haze? I don't think I did. I'll quickly do that. It's not ending, I don't know, I have to be quick, but just because I forgot it and moved on. But Moonlight Haze, I did kind of talk about it. It's kind of like the dream. And I wrote it out of being like out in the field. And it's quite literal when it says like out in a muddy field. And it's about kind of the feeling of feeling like being insane and feeling like the moon, like lunatic. But in a kind of dreamy, kind of lucid way of going between dimensions, of like a romanticism of going insane. And I think all in all, like the songs with I Don't Know How to Feel, it really ends it well, and that being the ending song of that, you feel all the emotions, and then at the end it's like, I guess I'm just kind of crazy, going back and forth and going through all the things and feeling all the same things at once. So I don't know how to feel packaged into something. So yeah. My drink is empty. Okay, now that I'm done with that, I could do some dance requests if people want. Since it's been an hour and a half, I think maybe we'll do 10-15 minutes more. We'll see how many requests, or if there are for dances. If I don't get any, I'll just pick my own dance to do to end off on some random other one. Yeah, I'm happy to perform my album. It means it's finally like properly released. This is well, there are more things to release, I don't know, but feels like I celebrated properly by doing a live stream. Okay, how long should I wait for requests? Put my hair. I think I'll have a look at what some other dances, another dance maybe. I think. Maybe I should do another one I choreographed that's not out yet. That could be an option. Or do we want to see K-pop? Chat, I need you to tell me. I think we'll do a K-pop one, maybe. Actually, okay.
아주 상쾌하게 번쩍 잠에 섞인 길도 기지개를 켜며 발을 내디뎌 널 찾은 걸까 true love 분명히 멋진 날이 될 것 같은 걸 이건 사랑일까 우린 영원히 영원할까 yeah 넌 느낌이 와나 혼자 뭔가 다른 듯해 하얗고 예쁜지 점점 더 달콤해진 맘 그대처럼 되는 건데 Like me, like you, boom boom 연애색 분홍조리에 묻혀 있어서 땅속 깊숙이 하긴 사랑 그 따위 그리고 나서 너를 만날 때까지 내게 물어봐 Surrender 내게 물어봐 Surrender We're always waiting 우린 너무 잘 몰라 Surrender 뒤집어 내 face 용기내 be brave 이대로 날 놓치면 미치게 후회한다 Don't you know you have a superpower 걱정만 하던 너와 함께라고 싶어 내 맘을 읽어봐 슬퍼하고 있지 않거든 Oh 나의 마음을 만져봐 이미 이제는 뭐 충분한 것 같아 하얗고 예쁜지 점점 더 달콤해진 맘과 두 세대처럼 뛰는 한빛 Like me, like you, boom boom 연애색 분홍조리에 묻혀 있어서 땅속 깊숙이 하긴 사랑 그 따위 피곤했어 너를 만날 때까지 내게 물어봐 Mr. Vampire 내게 물어봐 Mr. Vampire We always meet in heaven 우린 너무 잘 어울려 Mr. Vampire 같이 춤을 출까 성백한 피부가 햇살에 그 을리도록 구릿빛 눈부시도록 느껴봐 이 순간의 떨림 끌려 참을 수 없어 좀처럼 Yeah, yeah, it's not just for the first time 우린 바로 둘이 사랑밖에 몰라 연애색 분홍조리에 묻혀 있어서 깊숙이 하긴 사랑 그 따위 피곤했어 너를 만날 때까지 너를 절대 놓치지 마 Mr. Vampire 사람들에게 물어봐 Mr. Vampire We always meet in heaven 내까지 어울린다 Mr. Vampire
Okay. Okay. Okay, I've done all the songs. I've done one super dancey dance. I feel like if we don't get any requests in the next minute, I think we can end there. I would do another song if I'm given it. But I understand if after an hour and a half we've seen all the album songs that we're ready. Okay. Thank you all the mittens who've shown up and been very nice and listened to my album. I hope you enjoyed the songs and the live versions of them. I hope to get more equipment, like eventually, to do it more professional style with a live version. But we have what we have at the moment. But thank you all for listening, those who stayed around for it all and watched the dances and the songs. I'm really happy to get to perform them, and I hope to see more of the mittens. Thank you all for watching the Mabel Winter performance and merch. too bright, you can't see. Okay. It's very hot. Okay. Bye, mittens. Thank you. Bye.